There are two main types of market research. Quantitative research involves collecting a lot of information by using techniques such as questionnaires and other forms of survey. Qualitative research involves working with smaller samples of consumers, often asking them to discuss products and services while researchers take notes about what they have to say.
Child language brokers are children or young people who translate or interpret on behalf of family members or others who do not speak the local language. When settling into a new country, children often learn the local language more rapidly than their parents and other adults. It was a great year for the National Environmental Science Competition, which attracted a wide range of ideas from all throughout the country. As a result of the initiatives that have received our grants, we have seen a rise in innovative and important projects that transcend beyond the scope of research and analysis. Information about the nominated projects will be available on our website beginning on June 1, 2014. The wildcat's massive paws are clamped on the side of the white safari jeep in which Chapel was a passenger in the snap. She looks to be pushing her nose into the rear glass, standing almost as tall as the jeep on her hind legs. When we're under pressure, it's perfectly normal to feel invigorated and motivated to take action in order to achieve our goals. However, if the stress level rises to a dangerous level, it can have an adverse effect on our physical and mental well-being and performance. Stress, on the other hand, is a very personal experience for everyone, and as such, there is no agreed-upon medical description. Researchers have, inspired by the efficient foraging behavior of a single-celled amoeba, developed an analog computer for finding a reliable and swift solution to the traveling salesman problem, a representative combinatorial optimization problem.
Bushfires are not counted as part of a country's annual carbon dioxide emissions since they are considered to be phenomena that are beyond human control. More than 1 million acres have burned in the past 2 summers in the Australian state of Victoria alone, according to government estimates.
Schools, government offices, post offices, and some stores are closed on Memorial Day. Memorial Day is the start of the summer recreational season in the United States. Politicians give speeches, and the President of the United States puts a wreath on the grave of the unknowns. Homelands are revising their opinions of their diasporas as the stigma attached to emigration declines, and stepping up their engagement efforts. Meanwhile, host countries are witnessing more assertive diasporic groups within their own national communities, worrying about fifth columns and foreign lobbies, and suffering outbreaks of diasporophobia.
Climate change has made you realize that being environmentally friendly is no longer a luxury for your firm, but rather a necessity. Where do you begin the process of becoming carbon neutral? Make sure your drivers are in mind. Aside from environmental concerns, why do you want to go carbon neutral in the first place?
Climate change will cause plants to use more water in the future than they do now, resulting in less water for people in North America and Eurasia. Despite the expected rise in precipitation in populated locations such as the United States and Europe, the research implies a drier future. In many ecosystems, bioactivation, the disturbance of soils by animals, is a critical and even crucial functioning component. As a result, it adds to the ecosystem's variety and variability through determining soil patch characteristics. In many climates, bioperturbation's ecological value may be recognized, however the focus is on arid environments. Normally, if we spin around in an office chair and suddenly stop, we feel like we're still moving. That's because the fluid in the inner ear responsible for detecting movement continues to whirl around due to inertia, making your brain think it's still in motion. In this activity, you will explore the reaction that creates these tasty, toasty treats and experiment with speeding up and slowing down the process.
After all, the amount of student loan debt owed in the United States is actually enormous. The average 2015 U.S. college graduate who took out loans to pay for education had $35,000 in student debt when they enter the workforce. The entire amount of student loan debt in the United States now surpasses $1.15 trillion, dwarfing the nation's credit card debt, for example.
As a newborn neutron star with an enormous magnetic field, a magnetar is an excellent analogy, according to the researchers. X-ray flares are also produced by magnetars. Magnetars are assumed to be newborn stars, yet elliptical galaxies, which contain older stars, are found near the two flaring objects in this research. According to the experts, the artifacts are probably too ancient to be magnetars because of their age.
A critical aspect of food safety management is the identification and characterization microorganisms in order to track down pollutants and solve issues like rotting. An understanding of the microorganisms you've encountered and how to identify them is useful in making decisions about their safety or resistance to heat, for example.
As a result of religious persecution and political unrest, a large number of people are abandoning their respective nations. Many individuals have been left trapped in foreign nations for months, while other families have gone missing in the water, stuck in small boats, while the neighboring countries refuse to take them in.
In too many ways, technology outweighs and outperforms traditional methods of learning. Technologies are increasing the learning process by providing a choice of formats, resources, and delivery methods that aren't constrained by geography or time. Using social media has changed the way people obtain and disseminate information on the Internet.
The cosmic web, the large-scale structure of the universe that regulates the motion of galaxies and other cosmic material owing to its gravitational impact, is made up of dark matter, an enigmatic element. However, the distribution of local dark matter remains a mystery since it cannot be directly measured. Afforestation is the process of planting trees in an area that was previously devoid of any tree cover with the goal of establishing a forest or a stand of trees. Afforestation has become increasingly important in today's world, as it aids in the preservation of environmental biodiversity. Deforestation on a massive scale in our country for the construction of large companies and power plants has had a negative influence on our environment's biodiversity and ecological balance.